Alright guys, so welcome back, and as promised this will be the destructive test and the look inside the Etekcity water filter. This uses charcoal down here and microtubes up here, at least I think that's how it goes, but let's find out. Now, like I said in my other video, this thing seemed to plug up fairly quick and go to a slow flow rate. It did not stop, so I want everyone to know that it didn't stop working. It just was not working as quickly as I wanted or needed. So, to help me today to figure out what's inside, I've got this parang, and I've also got my 810, which will help on some of the finer points. But before any of that, let's just chop this thing up. And I do apologize for the dogs, but that is what happens when you live in a somewhat suburban area and dogs hate mail carriers for whatever reason. Alright, so let's see what we can do. Let me gather that back up. Alright guys, so as per usual, my first chop was absolutely flawless, and I managed to separate this thing exactly where the microtubes start and the charcoal ends. So literally I chopped it in the best possible location to see what we want to see. So let's look at the charcoal portion. I believe this is where much of the slowing occurred. I think as water was filtering through this, this stuff just really started to slow down. This looks like a mix of activated charcoal and, boy, I don't even know what this white stuff would be. It almost looks like pebbles or possibly ceramic. I think it's ceramic if I remember the packaging, what they said, but got all these like little ceramic balls or pebble. I really don't know, to be honest, and the rest is the activated charcoal. Down in here, hard to see probably on camera, but there's a little pre-filter, a little screen. That doesn't look too plugged up, and it's pretty coarse, so I don't think that was the cause of it slowing down. I really think this stuff getting all wadded up is probably what caused this to slow down so bad. And I don't want anyone to think it wasn't like you know, drip drop, but you had to apply decent pressure to the bottle or to the bag to get it to really do what you wanted it to do, which is kind of a pain. Now these are the microtubes, and I think by looking at them you can see a lot of the how they've turned like grayish, and I think that's because maybe the charcoal itself, as it was breaking down, was plugging up some of these microtubes. And I think because of this charcoal base, back flushing this thing was nearly impossible. It was very difficult, and it wasn't it was not as effective. It did help when I back flushed it, but it didn't help like say the Sawyer, or a smaller filter without the charcoal. Was much better when I back flushed it. I saw a more noticeable difference in the performance. Oh, good grief, I sunk that in there. Let me get this right out of the way. So let's take apart some of these microtubes here and see what we got in there. Actually, I'm just going to cut these like this. See, these look a little bit different than like the hollow fibers that the other ones that I've seen. The other ones seem to be more brittle than these. These are pretty kind of soft and very flexible, almost feel rubbery. You know what? Let's chop up the Sawyer, since mine's ruined anyway, and we'll compare the hollow fibers. Maybe the difference is in the hollow fibers and not in the charcoal. Let's see, I got my Sawyer right here, and let's see if I can make another good hit. Okay. Nope, the part with the filter went flying. Let me go grab that real quick. And we're back. Look at that. See, these they look different to me. These from the Etekcity are like stringier, and there's a color difference. I'm pretty sure the charcoal is what did this thing in. You know, the more I look at it, it seems like the charcoal is what kind of messed this thing all up. These just seem cleaner, and they're not like a tainted color. Let me zoom this camera in a little bit more, right to the center here. So yeah, I mean, you can see there's definitely a difference in the way these fibers work. It looks like the Sawyer actually has a lot more packed in there than this does, which would explain why this flow rate is a little better. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's definitely a lot more fibers in the Sawyer than there are in the Etekcity, and that's part of your flow rate. Although when they're both new, the flow rates felt very similar. And these just feel like kind of more stringy and rubbery to me than the Sawyers do. The Sawyers feel a little bit more bristly. I mean, that could be just because, you know, I don't know how easy it is going to be to cut through this. Look at this more on camera. See if I can hack through this, get a little better view. It's going to be a little more difficult than I thought. .810's got the job done though. Let's see if I can get the rest of these off. There we go. Yeah, these fibers just, they seem, they feel similar, but not as stringy. They feel tougher and obviously way more densely packed in. I mean, this is just kind of, these are flopping around in here, and I don't know. Let me see if I can hack into the top of this thing. I'm gonna end up losing a finger on camera here. Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay. You guys like that job on there? That's mustard. Yeah, I mean, just, there's a lot of space up here where these fibers could be, but they're just not. I'm gonna pull this out. Oh yeah, look at the top, right up near the mouth. All this really dark stuff here. Sorry about the focus. It looks like the charcoal just came right to the top where the mouthpiece is and basically just plugged everything pretty tight. And you can see where they're all set in this epoxy so that nothing gets through there. You can see how much kind of space, how much space is left over. And when you get to the Sawyer, it's packed right full. Well, there you have it, guys. If you ever wondered what the inside of a Sawyer Mini and an Etekcity filter look like, there's your answer. I think after this I'm either gonna buy another Mini or possibly a squeeze system, just for the extra flow rate, because Bryant on the trip had a squeeze with the adapter where you could thread a bottle into each end, and that was like primo. Let me zoom out a little bit here. It was really nice being able to put a bottle on each end of that and just transfer from a dirty bottle into a clean bottle. It worked beautifully. And so anyway, that's probably what I'll end up purchasing, and I'll do a full review if I end up getting a squeeze, because I haven't owned one. I've used them, but I haven't owned them. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. God bless you guys as always, and I'll leave you with one more shot of carnage.